So it is an object in that sense.
So that is why we are saying it is an object, it is not a subject.
Yeah, but how come, but in daily life it feels, or the sense I have in daily life, and it feels like is that I am, is me, is the center, is the subject.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's an object. So there is that mistaken sense of the I am being the subject.
So it is possible only because of our intellect. So intellect means thought.
Yeah.
So because it is necessary. Unless you fix yourself to be somebody, you cannot move in this world. So naturally you have to fix yourself. Your thought has to help to fix yourself to be somebody. So that is the correct mechanism for yourself to deal with the things of the world. But at the same time, this alone is the problem if you are dealing with ourselves. So if you take the same stand within ourselves to be somebody, and we think I must be this way or that way, I must have always happiness, I should not have any fear or anger. In this way we are dealing with everything. But psychologically it is unnecessary. But physically it is there.
Right.
But the feeling of I am is there.
It's there.
There is no problem.
Right.
We have to have that. If you cannot fix yourself, you cannot live in this world.
Right.
So you have to fix.
So that feeling of I am being there and the necessity of it, it's enough just to know that the feeling of I am is there.
Yeah.
And that it happens naturally.
It happens naturally.
It happens naturally, and it is an object.
Object.
But who the subject is, we can't say.
No,
Who the
see.
subject is, we don't know, we can't say.
Yeah.
Still, the mind tries to divide it into two.
Yeah, I used to tell you, the screen never comes to our attention.
Right. Never.
Never comes to see. You see the image, all this happening
Yeah.
inside the screen, and you get attracted towards it.
Yeah.
But you never look at the screen. But
Right.
the screen is the base behind all these images.
No, I understand that.
Yeah, you are that screen, which is everything happening inside you. All these images happening.
Yeah.
But at the back of it, you are that screen itself.
Right, but that screen can
That
never be
screen,
known.
no, you don't have to really make a conscious attempt that I am that screen. You don't have, even if you don't recognize that it is there already.
But the screen is an inference.
The screen is there.
Well, that's the classical view,
It is.
Vedanta viewpoint. Is the screen is
Yes,
nature.
yes.
So I put my attention back
Yes.
to the sense of I, and so there's the sense of I am, that's the thought. And then if you keep coming back to the sense of I am, that's thought, then and hold your attention there, then eventually something else will absorb thought, and poof, it'll all be gone. And
That's what you have.
Brahman left.
I am message for liberation. Right? You are already liberated. So it's happening, it goes on and on without any disturbance. So you feel that you are free.
Yeah. I feel I'm free most of the time.
Yes. We used to get stuck before, no? Before this knowledge happening inside you, we used to get stuck somewhere and
Of course, freedom can't be a feeling either. It's a happening.
yeah, it's a happening. Any further questions?
Certainly.
But because there is within the traditional Advaita, and in the way Raman and some of the others teach, that if you keep putting your attention back to the I am, that eventually you'll come to that, you'll come to know yourself, however we want to use language, as that pure I am, which is free of concepts, free of thoughts, and you are that, and within that there's no knowing of anything. Well, we can't say anything about that, but that's a traditional.
But it shines forth.
It shines forth.
And that's,
Yeah. So when you look into yourself and you go to the source of yourself, So what is doing all those things is your consciousness.
Yes.
Your conscious, for example, you are focusing the attention, focusing the point where between the thoughts or anything, you are focusing your attention. Here also, we place our attention in the pointer where I am is shining, I am is blinking or anything. So you are observing that means we are rotating or we are focusing our attention against the attention itself.
Yes.
So here we rotate the attention.
Yeah.
And here we have some different kind of feeling. If you are attentive your attention, then you'll rotate your consciousness. So this is the Anandamaya Kosa, not
Right.
the reality.
Not the
So
reality.
you are activating the Anandamaya Kosa, then you can have the bliss consciousness. The bliss consciousness belongs to the Anandamaya Kosa and not belongs to the reality.
Right.
But reality is cause it is the basic structure for everything, including Anandamaya Kosa. The reality is behind that. But comparing with the other thing, the Anandamaya Kosa is a higher thing. Comparing with the mind, the intellect, the Anandamaya Kosa is some powerful state. So if you are in the powerful state, you can be somewhat powerful.
Is it Nirvikalpa?
Uh,
Nirvikalpa Samadhi is
yeah.
identification with the Anandamaya Kosha.
But here, it is not liberation. But if you are stable, if you are steady in your Anandamaya Kosa, it is not liberation.
Right.
Liberation is not maintaining anything, including the Anandamaya Kosa itself. So natural flow. Comparing with liberation, everything is a state, but the liberation is not a state. It is the flowing of all states, where everything is possible. Even you can Anandamaya, even for sometimes you may be in the Anandamaya Kosa, and sometimes you may be in the intellect, sometimes you may be in the ego, sometimes you may be in the form of the mind. In what level you may be there. But the time being you may be there, the next moment you will be in the flow.
Right.
So that is the liberated state.
Right.
But it is all this experience of bliss or in some state. We can be in that state sometimes. But if you try to be in the state, it will disturb you. You will create some problem, and you will soon again you have to be forcibly come away from the state. Something will be forced to come away from the state.
You said, for example, that you are in the state of flow. You come to the conclusion that I am no one in particular.
Yeah.
That I am no one in particular. Ramana Maharishi also says at some other point where he says the question, who am I, is not meant to be answered. It is meant to dissolve the question.
Yeah.
So that it reaches the same point, which is no one in particular. There's no it's a dissolution of this I, which is comes and goes.
Yeah.
Flow.
And one another aspect in this subject is that what is manolaya and manonasa. So manolaya means the mind taking some shape, taking some structure. That is manolaya. So unless the mind takes a shape, takes a structure, it cannot function. So for example, when I say something, the mind must take a shape. Then only I can speak something. So when you want to listen my speech, you have to have some manolaya. Then only you can take the shape. Unless you cannot take a shape, you cannot listen to the talk. So here, all action is possible only with the help of manolaya. So because our mind, we cannot do anything without the help of our mind. So the mind alone takes the role of doing everything, and when it enters to do something, it takes the form of laya. It takes some structure. So that is the nature of a mind.
Laya means?
Laya means
Joy.
laya means
Concentrate on particular points.
hmm?
Concentrate on particular points like that.
Focus.
Laya means,
Focus.
laya means joining.
Joining.
Join means it composes
Becomes,
some
takes the shape of.
composes some taking some shape, joining itself will organize itself as something. So that means each and every moment the mind organizes itself to be something. So then only some work is possible. In this way, for example, somebody misbehaved with us, and we have some anger, or somebody, for example, we meet our friend, good friend, and we will have some good feeling. So the anger, the good feeling is also a manolaya. So all our experience is manolaya. And so our action is manolaya, our feeling or whatever we feel is one manolaya. That means we take some shape. So unless we take some shape, we cannot feel anything, we cannot do anything. So that is the nature of manolaya. So this is necessary for our life. So without manolaya we cannot live. So because each and every moment we are dealing with our life, we are moving along with our life with manolaya alone. Psychologically alone, manolaya is necessary. Externally alone, we are having manolaya is necessary. So for example, whenever we face a situation, we have some tension within our mind. So with the help of the tension, we solve the situation. If you do not have any tension within our mind, we will not attend to the situation. So everything comes for our help. So the psychological emotion is also comes for our help. But psychologically it is, in psychological way, it takes a shape as emotion, and by we thinking, we planning something, I have to do like this, I have to think like this. So all thinking or planning is kind of manolaya. So all action, if it is related to the external world, everything is there only because of manolaya. The manolaya is the state of mind by which we can do something. But the real state of our mind is not only manolaya, it is also manonasa. Manonasa means the dissolution of the manolaya. But something there should not be any mind. They will think that we have to go away from the mind. That is not like this. The dissolution of the manolaya is really, that's the real meaning of manonasa. Manonasa means the no mind means no manonasa is the real meaning behind that. So whenever the mind takes a shape, the next moment is must be free from the shape. So it is also naturally happening, but we are disturbing the disappearance. Before it disappears, we try to bring it back. So when we put some hand, thereby we are doing something. So here, the manonasa is our real state of our mind. Only the manolaya is the appearance. And we need not create the manonasa, we need not strive for manonasa, we need not work for the manonasa. Manonasa is the real state of our mind. The manonasa itself is the liberation. Liberation and manonasa is same. There is no difference between that. So each and every moment it takes shape, the next moment it is free from the shape. But what important is that we should not give importance to the manolaya. If you do not give importance to the manolaya, then we are not struggling with the manolaya. That is the main thing. So we have to understand we should not give importance to the manolaya. And when we do not give importance to the manolaya, means that's the matter. That does not mean we should not encourage one manolaya. That manolaya will not give importance to the other manolaya. We should not create another manolaya to be free from manolaya. So that means we have to understand Manolaya is not necessary. This understanding will safeguard ourselves from all Manolaya. Then we will be in the Manonasa. But when we are in the Manonasa, it is let it be the Manolaya comes and goes naturally, because it is necessary. Unless we have Manolaya, we cannot do anything in the world. So it is necessary. So we need not afraid of Manolaya. We need not try to, I should be without Manolaya. I must be always in the state of Manonasa. It is not necessary.
That is another one.
Another Manolaya. That is not necessary. But many persons are confusing some state of yoga. So in the yoga, you maybe go to the samadhi state. It is just like a sleep. There is no difference between the sleep and the samadhi state. Sleep is unconscious samadhi, but the samadhi state is a conscious sleep. That is the difference between the two. Both are sleep. If this is in one way, this is another way. We need not worry, need not confuse with the samadhi state. Well, many persons are thinking that going to the samadhi state is the real meaning, is the manonasa. That is not the state. But the real state of our mind is in the manonasa. But the Manolaya, in the state of Manonasa, Manolaya comes and goes. And we can make use of the Manolaya for everything.
So kind of an image of that is the sky with the clouds.
Yeah.
And the sky doesn't mind if there
Yeah,
are
yeah.
clouds or no clouds.
We need not create this sky.
Yeah, the sky is always there.
Could we say that the Manolaya is both the activity in the external world and the activity in the psychological world?
Psychological.
Both flowing.
Yeah.
So going back to what Murray was saying, which I identified with, the constant thoughts which are concretizing that I am, because I thought about me and how I deal with things, are fine if I just let them be.
So if you do not give importance to that, let it be.
Yeah,
Let it be.
just check it. Thank you.
The time right now, there is a charger on a camera. Power pole man parne, battery low item.
If you could use 2 English words for we English-speaking people, you've in all your other talk, you've managed to find some English word to explain your, because you're obviously thinking in your own language. But here you've kept 2, for us, non-English words.
Non-English words.
I'm wondering if you could find a simple English word for monolaya, which I would say is something like concretization of a thought, and mononasa, which is free-flowing thought. Would that be?
So this Manolaya and Manonasa is Sanskrit words, not local word.
Okay.
There is the scriptures use the word, so we may also adopt the word itself. Because we have to, anyway, we have to clarify the words. It will not straightly, we cannot understand through what is Manolaya and Manonasa. We have to, as we have to explain the word, we can simply take the word itself as Manolaya and Manonasa. Instead of Manolaya and Manonasa, if you find out some other word in English, it may create some confusion. We can simply go along to but we are not taking many words, only 2 words. And for that we can clarify.
Okay, thank you.
By our clarification, we may understand what is Manolaya and Manonasa.
So the example that I just gave of monolaya being a concretization of thought, and mononasa being free-flowing thought. Are you comfortable with that? Is that?
So here, for example, some water is there. When you write something, the writing is laya, some form. some letters. The formation of letters is manolaya. Laya means some construction of some shape. We create some shape, we create some figures, and in the next moment it disappears. So for disappearance we need not do anything. It is natural. Now, whenever it takes some shape, the water itself takes some shape. In the when we write, the water takes the shape of writing letters, but in the next moment it is free from that letters. So the free from the letters is known as nasa. And when we write something, the construction of letters is manolaya.
Can we say tuning of mind as manolaya?
No, tuning of mind can be termed as manolaya. Manolaya and tuning of mind is one.
So when you leave the tuning, tune disappears and it gets the next tune.
Not tune. One tune, one after another tune may come, but no tune is the manolaya. The free from the tune is manolaya, nasa.
Yeah. This all this acting on the end is the lying. What is in the word manolaya?
Manolaya.
Yeah, it's like lying, not telling the truth.
No. What she is asking is manolaya is not telling the truth. You are acting something without, which is false. You try to build up on it. Is it so manolaya?
On the
is it
end,
equal to manolaya?
on the end,
Without
it is liar. Is lying.
Yes, is it lying?
Yes.
பொய் சொல்ற மாதிரியா?
Making a joke.
பொய் சொல்ற மாதிரி ட்ரூத் ஹைட் பண்ணி நீங்க பொய் சொல்ற மாதிரி தான் manolaya.
The truth is a liar. Manolaya.
Yeah.
But when we take some expression, but all good thing and bad thing comes from laya. But the real thing is beyond good and bad. So the good and bad classification comes in the laya. Even good also comes in the laya, bad also comes in the laya. The real thing is beyond good and bad.
Once we understand this, the dissolution of I, this who am I, the subject, all this manolaya, nasam, all these things also happens automatically. When there is no I to desire, then all this laya also becomes manolaya, nasa. You do whatever is required at this point of time. You don't expect anything out of it. Laya is expecting something out of it. You take a shape. When you take a shape means you are expecting some result. With respect to this, what do you call that, inner structure. But here, you do whatever is required at this point of time without mingling up your desires. That is why he has gone for a sequence. This understanding, then the next topic is understanding what is this inner structure and the outer world. Then, who am I? So all these three connecting together, and if you look at it in the sequence, 1, 2, 3 sequence, if you see, so the whole understanding takes place with the help of these subjects, 3 subjects, and you can feel, then you are ready to act upon. It's laya, everything. Laya is it's an enhancement of this understanding. It just enhances your understanding still further.
This morning you have given that bike example. Bike.
The morning.
Morning you have given the bike example. So how do you connect that bike example to this Manolaya and Manonasa?
So what you feel is Manolaya. For here, in the bike example, you understand the loss of bike. The understanding the loss of bike is Manolaya. The understanding is possible only because of Manolaya. Here, when you have some sorrow about the loss of the bike, it is also a Manolaya. So here, if you trying to free from the sorrow, it is also Manolaya. And the Manolaya wants to deal with the Manolaya. If you want to be free from sorrow, that means one Manolaya wants to be free from another Manolaya. Because the one portion of yourself, the Manolaya takes the shape of I am, and the I am thinking that I have to be free from sorrow. Actually, each and every moment, one single Manolaya is there. The single Manolaya, it thinks that it has some another Manolaya, it must be free from another Manolaya. It is a mistaken thing. Actually, each and every moment, some single Manolaya is there. But it thinks that it has to be free from another Manolaya. It is meaningless. But it thinks like that. I want to be free from that. But actually, each and every moment, a single, at one time, it takes the role of the sorrow. The next time, it takes a role, I must be free from sorrow. So moment by moment, some Manolaya comes, and it has the illusion as if it has to be free from something. And it disturbs itself. The Manolaya disturbs itself.
At the same time, apply this Manolaya wherever is required at the external.
But here also, the understanding that you have no work, it is also a kind of Manolaya. Your understanding is a Manolaya. It is not Manonasa. It is also a Manolaya. But you understand, your understanding is made up of your Manolaya. When you inquire, all inquiry is Manolaya. And with the inquiry, you come to a conclusion, no work is needed. Your understanding is also a kind of Manolaya. But this Manolaya helps to free from Manolaya.
I cannot do anything finally with this Manolaya. That is the stroke of final.
Both the emotions as well as the intellect.
Everything. We can operate only Manolaya. We cannot operate because there is no operational system in Manonasa. The operational system belongs to the Manolaya only.
I have understood this is also Manolaya. Correct? Is it correct?
Yeah. Everything is Manolaya. So we can do everything only with the help of Manolaya alone. Even understanding is Manolaya. Enlightenment is Manolaya. But liberation is not Manolaya. Liberation is the dissolution of Manolaya. It is the liberation of Manolaya.
So finally, what is the conclusion part of, as per the understanding under these three subjects is concerned? Who am I? This inner structure and the external world. So finally, does it ends up with yes, I have no work at all with respect to my psychological structure. Does it end up in there or?
So before,
That is,
yeah, before that, in this example concern, that cycle concern, as a liberation persons, as you said, we should be in the mananasa. Mananasa. Then what will be the feeling of that persons? Mananasa means some examples we need.
so here, manonasa is not a state.
State.
So whatever is there is in the flowing state. So the manolaya alone is in the flowing state. Manonasa is not at all a state. It is there. The only manolaya comes and goes. So that is the state. One state comes and disappears. Coming and disappearing is the states. But here, manonasa means we can say the disappearance of states or the flowing of states.